Hello, y'all. I need you guys to hit the like button. I need you all to subscribe, and I need you all to tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell everyone about this channel, about this video, about narcissists, about narcissistic abuse, and about the characteristics and behavior of narcissists. How to get out, how to get away, and how to get to safety, and how to have and lead a normal, happy, healthy life. Normal, happy, healthy life, guys. So today is the day before Thanksgiving. So I just want to give y'all a little Thanksgiving hello, a little Thanksgiving chat. I hope everyone is doing well. Always put yourself first besides God. You want to put God first, then yourself. And then everyone else who is toxic or who's a narcissist, you got to put them away and do away with them. You feel what I'm saying? Also, I don't want you all to take the messages that I have been putting out there about self-care and about loving yourself. I don't want y'all to take it the wrong way and get so engrossed and deep with loving yourself and doing self-care that it gets to the point where you get so sucked up in it that you start becoming a person who's self-worshiping. I don't promote that. I don't condone it. It's dangerous. God hates it. God hates idolatry. So when you start self-worshiping, that is a form of idolatry. So I don't want y'all to take it and run with it and get so engrossed and deep with it that you find yourself self-worshiping. So don't ever do that, okay, guys? When I give y'all messages and I try to tell you how to be healthy from a mental standpoint, emotional standpoint, and a spiritual standpoint, please go to God first and go to God in prayer. Ask God to lead you. Ask God to direct you. Because I can say things and it can be taken out of context. It can be taken the wrong way. And I certainly don't want to mislead you all or mislead God's people in any way. So anything that I share with you guys, any advice I give, please go to God in prayer about it first, okay? All right. Also, when you ask God for certain things, you got to be careful of what you ask God for, because when you ask for it and God gives it to you, He's going to give it to you in the form that you're least expecting it. He's going to give it to you in the form that you may not necessarily be ready to handle. And it'll come at you in a way like, wow. Or it'll come at you when you're not expecting it. It'll come at you and catch you off guard, okay? So I have been praying and asking God to give me discernment, to strengthen my discernment, and to help me to see certain things in people to keep myself and my children and family protected. So when I asked God for this, I didn't think He was going to go on a binge here and start sending people my way to show me things about people. So there was this one person who I considered a friend. Make a long story short, my children and I think I told you guys this story in the previous video, but I'm just going to give you a summarized version of the story to make my point here. So my children and I were in the car late one night. We were hungry. We were trying to get our food and go home. I ordered the food. My son said something about a chicken sandwich. The person who I considered my friend, she was on the phone on Bluetooth in the car, and she made a sly remark or comment about my son saying something about the chicken sandwich. When she made her sly remark or comment, I intervened and I asked my son who was he talking to, because I at first thought he was trying to be smart alecky with me, so I was trying to check him. But also, if he was saying it to her, I was going to put him in his place, because you're supposed to respect your elders. That's what I teach my children. Make a long story short, he said, when he answered my question, he said he was talking to her, so she popped off at the mouth. He popped back off at her. They popping back off at each other. So I had to stop and intervene. I was like, hey, Chloe, I got to call you back. I got to deal with him. So she hung up on me before I could even finish. So I called her back. She hangs up on me. But while they're in the midst of going back and forth at each other, she called my son out of his name. So here she is as a person who's claiming to be my friend, who's claiming to be my son's aunt or whatever. If a person is really your friend, they're not going to call your child out of his or her name. They're not going to do it in front of you, and they're not going to do it at all. especially if they know your kid is special needs and your kid has a medical condition. Your kid also has a mental disability. So if your friend knows these things about your child and she still takes it, or he still takes it upon themselves to call your child out of their name, what does that tell you about the person's character? It tells you everything you need to know about that person's character. So when something like that happens, you got to cut them off. I don't care how you feel about the person. I don't care if you care about them. I don't care if you tried to be the best friend to this person. I don't care what great times y'all had. Cut them off. Why? Because if you let them stick around, this type of spirit will linger and it will affect you in a way that you're going to regret. And this is God's way of teaching us and teaching me how to protect ourselves against toxic people like that, against demonic spirits like that. And this is God showing me. He's saying, hey, you asked me to strengthen your discernment. You asked me to give you better discernment. Well, here it is. Now you're going to be tested and see how you deal with this. Are you going to deal with it the proper way? Or are you going to deal with it in an immature way? Are you going to deal with it in an ignorant way? Now, all of this didn't come to my mind while this was happening. It came to me after the fact, after I had time to sit down and think about things and replay this whole incident in my mind over and over and over again. I've come to the realization like, wow, God, you really do have a great sense of humor. Like, okay. So this is what I did. I cut her off completely. She cannot access me by phone. She cannot access me through text messaging. She cannot access me through email. She cannot access me on social media. I have my son block her too, so she cannot access him through phone or social media. So once I cut her off, she's cut off. Now, someone asked me today, have you spoken to her since the incident? No, I have not spoken to her since the incident. Why? Because there's a boundary and you don't cross certain boundaries, okay? And the thing about it is simple. It's based off of principle. Why I cut her off? I cut her off based off of principle. It's certain things you just don't do. And if you do them, that says a lot about who you are as a person. So I'm going to just leave it at that. So my message to you guys today is set and create healthy boundaries. Don't let people violate you, your children, your loved ones. Don't let people come in and treat you any kind of way. Don't let people come in and say anything to you. You have to teach people how to treat you. Now, my mom said this to me months ago. And I now understand what she mean when she said that. It took me a while to catch on to it, but I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. You have to teach people how to treat you, because if you do not, they will walk all over you. They will trample all over you. They will stomp all over you. And you're not a punk. In the physical realm, you're not a punk. In the spiritual realm, and as a child of God, you're not a punk. So you got to protect yourself. You have to defend yourself. Now, just because I said set healthy boundaries, don't mean you go out there and you be a jerk. It don't mean you go out there and be an a-hole. It don't mean that you go out there and you just completely just make a ASS out of yourself. I'm not saying do that now, okay? We got to keep our attitudes in check now. We got to keep our actions in check now. Like I just said a few minutes ago, whatever you decide to do, go up in prayer to God about it first and allow God to lead you with your decisions. Don't just go flying off the handle just because you want to. See, that's when we get into our flesh and we allow the flesh to take over and we do what our flesh wants us to do, and then we find ourselves in trouble, and then we be walking around crying, talking about, God, why you let this happen to me? Okay, well, this happened to you because you allowed your flesh to be in the forefront. And this is a daily battle for all of us humans. We fight in war with the spirit against the flesh daily, okay? This is a daily battle. This is a spiritual battle. You see what's happening in our country. Trump is now is finna be the president again. A lot of people didn't want the woman to be a president. A lot of people were offended by that. A lot of people were intimidated by the thought of a woman running the country. But I'm gonna just tell you something. There's a thing called change, and change is inevitable, meaning We have had a man run a country for this country for centuries, right? At some point, things are going to change. Now, I've heard somebody say in scripture, a woman is not supposed to preach and is not supposed to evangelize and is not supposed to lead. If that is the case, we need to dissect that and try to study and understand what God meant by that. Because I don't think women can't be leaders. Because if women can't be leaders, he wouldn't allow us to be mothers. So I don't believe that. I believe that God wants women to lead in certain areas, not in all areas. But the fact that we got people who are very closed-minded and narrow-minded and don't think a woman should run the country, this, that, and the third, that's nonsense. But also, I'm not going to get into politics because I don't like getting into politics. I just brought that up to make the point that we got a lot going on. We got a lot going on in the world today. We got a lot going on in the American country. We really are definitely dealing with what is called spiritual warfare. It is a spiritual battle going on. We got to be praying. God's word says pray without ceasing. That means we got to be praying every day. Even when we don't feel like praying, we got to get up and pray. Even when we're too tired, we got to get up and pray. We got to try to do things to remind ourselves to get up and pray. Because if we do not, this devil, this enemy here, he gonna be poking at you and attacking you every chance he get. You know, the enemy love poking the bear. Okay. But I love you guys. I don't want to carry this video on too long. Create healthy boundaries. Teach people how to treat you. Don't take no mess and no crap from nobody. Let God lead you. Go in prayer up to God about things if you're unsure about something. And I see y'all in the next video. Peace and blessings to you all. Later.